Okay, good morning everyone. And I'm Thomas Poon. I'm the solution architect in Hong Kong, and I'm responsible for the security solution and also the FSI. And actually, I joined Alibaba Cloud last year on June. I think most of you I already meet you guys in the NEO training and also the annual party. And I'm happy to share the new solution to you here. And today I'm going to talk about how to use the Fortinet and why we need to use the Fortinet on Alibaba Cloud. And I think this is a very good solution that your customers should like it, because I already meet several customers. They also have similar requirement. That so lucky we have William Guo to make the Fortinet go to our marketplace, so I can fulfill my customer requirement for this. Okay, this is today's agenda. First, I will talk about why we need to use the Fortinet and how it can help. Okay, and then the scenario that we can use for the Fortinet on our Alibaba Cloud, and some roadmap sharing here. And lastly, I will have some demonstration to show you how Fortinet can help you and what it can do for us. This presentation and demo should within 30 minutes, half hour. Okay, so first talk about the challenge of my customer. Okay, normally I meet my FSI and enterprise customer. They have some requirement. For example, they want the traditional firewall to protect their resources, because they know we have the WAF and they know we have any DDoS. But sometimes they will also want to leverage their existing skills. They want to use firewall to monitor their traffic. The second point is similar. They want to monitor and they want to secure all of the inbound and outbound traffic in our Alibaba Cloud. As you know, for the WAF, we can use it to protect the inbound traffic for any bot, something like that. But if customer also want to secure and filter the outbound traffic, that we cannot do actually. So we will need some software to help us to do this kind of outbound monitoring. And also, we may need the VPN gateway to talk with our customer on premises. But as you know, in Hong Kong, we still do not have the VPN gateway pass service. So I also need to find some alternative to help my customer. We have Fast Gateway before. Fast Gateway is built on top of the Stone Swan. However, my customer also wants some vendor-built VPN solution. But the Fast Gateway is not. So Fortinet is the way to go as well. For a security protection requirement, some customer also ask me, do we have antivirus capability on Alibaba Cloud? Previously, I only can mention that we have server guard on our ECS. We have it to monitor your ECS, something like that. However, it's not really antivirus solution. Secondly, the IPS, intrusion prevention, and also the intrusion detection system. Some customer also ask, do we have this kind of solution? In fact, IPS and IDS is very similar, which IPS will also block the request, but IDS will only do the alerting when they find some special network that are harmful to the network. Fortinet also has the IPS solution, has the IPS capability. Once you have the ECS in our cloud, when you want the ECS to access to the internet, you can use the NAT gateway for sure. However, if you use the NAT gateway to allow the ECS connect to the internet, you cannot filter the traffic the ECS that can go. Your ECS may go to doing the Bitcoin mining. Your ECS may connect to some network you may not want to. With Fortinet application control, we can control which application or which website the ECS can connect to the internet. Some customers also want to do the SSL VPN, but we need the VPN gateway for it to fulfill the requirement. Fortinet can do the site-to-site VPN and also the SSL VPN as well. Um, Later, when the Fortinet released the Fortinet visualization product, we can easily use it to do the traffic visualization also in the VPC, in whole VPC. This is the in future roadmap. It will be released later. Okay, if you go to the marketplace, you can try to search for the Fortinet. You will see 3 instances there. The first one is the bring your own license. If your customer has on-premises license, they can use this image. Okay, then they can select any configuration they want. Just their license allowed, and it's okay. The second one is the 2 virtual CPU version. Normally I use this because this is cheaper, and Fortinet normally the efficiency is very high, so 2 vCPU should be fine for most of the customer, I believe. You can see there is a software cost here, 444 something for a month, and you will also need to pay the additional ECS cost for the V2 vCPU instance. Normally I will use the ECS SM1NE, that is level enhanced ECS, and it's not expensive, so I think this is a good ECS that you can consider. And the third marketplace is a 4 CPU one. The software cost is a little bit higher, around 600 USD a month, and you can also use the SM1NE as well. And we will support the HA deployment very soon, actually within 1 or 2 weeks. That rely on the HA VIP. So if customer want to also do the X-ray for the Fortinet, we also support. Next I will talk about the usage scenario on our Alibaba Cloud for Fortinet. The first one is the security IPS. You can see we have the Fortinet in the vSwitch, and we also have other worker ECS that is you want to protect in other vSwitch. First, we need to set up the Fortinet. And if you want the Fortinet have X-ray capability, then you will need to leverage the X-ray VIP. And then in the VPC, you will add the next hop of the VPC route for any network to the Fortinet. If you have the X-ray, then you add the X-ray VIP. If not, then you add the ECS of the Fortinet to
Hello,
the... Hello?
Hello.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Yeah, can you move the message box to the bottom, please?
Oh, I can close it. Good. Okay, it's okay.
And I
Thanks.
think there's someone asking a question.
But I cannot see it.
Does the software cost credit to BD?
I think we can confirm later. This is a sales question more. We first talk about technical.
Great. We
Okay.
can confirm that.
Yeah.
Okay, please continue. Alright.
Okay. Okay. We need to add the route to the VPC. That makes sure all of the outgoing traffic will route to the Fortinet VM. And next we will configure the FortiGate, the policy, and turn on which security feature you want. For example, the IPS, antivirus, or application control. This is just a button that you just click and then configure. It's very easy to do it. I will show you in a demo very soon. And then you will allow the security group access of the ECS to the FortiGate. Okay, then your ECS are all under protected. When the UCS outbound to the internet, it will all go to the Fortinet. You can see the access log. You can block the trouble request, and this is the scenario to protect the outbound traffic. I will also show you in the demo that how to protect the inbound traffic. Okay, scenario 2 is the SSL VPN, and if customer want to do the 2FA token, you know that we will use site-to-site VPN all the time with our customer who want on-premises connect to our cloud, and some of them will also want to connect their workstation or the mobile phone to our Alibaba Cloud. Fortinet can also support this SSL VPN with the FortiGate token as well. it has the mobile app, it can help to generate a token. Then the end user will need to also enter the token and then get into the FortiGate. In fact, it can also integrate to the Microsoft AD, to the enterprise directory of the customer. So if the customer enter the AD user credential, then the Fortinet will connect to the LDAP to do the authentication against the Microsoft AD. So I think this also advanced feature that enterprise customer may want that actually we on our Alibaba Cloud may not have solution right now. Okay, scenario 3 is the site-to-site VPN. We can use the FortiGate to do the site-to-site VPN in Hong Kong regions because we not yet have the VPN gateway at this moment. So the same FortiGate will be able to do the security filtering, security capability, antivirus, and also the site-to-site VPN with the customer. So I think many customers may also want this feature, and this should be quite easy to upsell to our customer as well. Some advanced feature like the VPN redundancy that's built on top of the IPsec VPN certainly. This is also supported for us. For example, you can deploy the FortiGate in our Hong Kong Zone B and another Fortinet in Hong Kong Zone C, and each of them have the HAVIP to do the protection. And customer can configure the IPsec VPN redundancy that normally they connect to Zone A, and when the problem occur or the zone really has level problem or down outage, then it will automatically connect to another zone. This I think is also useful for some customers as well. The VPN redundancy feature is available in the FortiGate. Okay, so next will be the roadmap of the Fortinet. Many customers will ask the X-ray support, but in fact it's already developed, and I believe this feature and this new marketplace image will be released in the marketplace within this week or next week. With the X-ray support, it can leverage our HAVIP, and the FortiGate itself can communicate with the X-ray capability itself, and the configuration will be synchronized itself. So you configure in the primary FortiGate, it will replicate your setting to the secondary FortiGate itself by default. With the X-ray support, you can switch the FortiGate within 1 second. For example, if you want to do some maintenance or some restart or upgrade the Fortinet, you can switch over the primary FortiGate to the secondary in 1 second. For failover case, if the primary Fortinet physical machine is down, then it will need to restart. So our ECS restart may need 1 or 2 minutes, something like that, if we don't have the X-ray Fortinet here. So if you have 2 FortiGates and enable the X-ray support, then the failover time will be less than 5 seconds. So some enterprise customer will also want this, I think. Okay, this is going to support in these 2 weeks. And in coming years, Fortinet will also release the Forti Analyzer, Forti Manager, something like that, to help you to do the reporting, visualization. And if customer has many Fortinet, they can use one Fortinet Manager to configure or to monitor all of the Fortinet gateway. So this kind of new product will also be released soon. William will also help us to drive as well. Okay, so next will be the demonstration. Okay, this is a website that's to test the firewall protection, or also can test the local antivirus capabilities, which it has many test cases, and each of the test case will have a clean file and what some virus affected file. That you can just run the test here and see how secure your network and your antivirus are. So you can just click the one more test. The test is now going to perform in my own machine. You can also test your machine as well. So I will use this test tool in my VPC machine. So I just go to the Alibaba Cloud first. I will show you the machine I'm using. I first change it to English first. Okay, I will have totally 3 machines for the demo. One is the firewall, another one is the CentOS Linux OS, and the last one is the Windows OS. Okay, so I have 3 machines here. You can see the first one is the CentOS, the second one is the Windows, the last one is the Fortinet. You can see the Fortinet with the public IP address. So I go to the Fortinet. I can log in. So this is the console of the FortiGates. Okay. You can see it's really sophisticated actually, and you can define the policy here. First, I show you the policy I have. I have a policy to the internet, which you can see any ECS connect to the Fortinet and won't go to the internet to any IP address, I will allow it. However, I'm enable the antivirus, enabled the application control here. Application control is what I mentioned. We can control which application the ECS can connect. For example, it's already grouped in many categories. One of them is social. For the social, it include the Facebook, include the Twitter, something like that. That already grouped nicely. That we can just select to block or enable, something like that. For antivirus, it's just similar to semantic antivirus. We can upgrade the antivirus database here and then just enable, then it's okay. And you can check my VPC. That I will show you the configuration I've done. Okay, and this is the Fortinet VPC. And we have a routing table here. In the routing table, I've added the all network 0000/0 and then point to the Fortinet here. This is the only configuration we need to do in our VPC. If I click the route entry, you can see some ECS instance. The ECS firewall is here. You can see the instance name is something like GCU at the end. So it's GCU. So I point all of the traffic back to the Fortinet. And next, I can show you how to configure the inbound protection. For the inbound protection, I go back to the Fortinet. This is the test I've done. You can see many of the tests I've failed in my own machine. You can also test in your workstation as well. I will show you the result in the ECS on VPC later. And in the policy, I also set up 2 inbound rules. One inbound rule is set up the RDP access to the internal ECS with the IP 1.1x6. You can see 1.1x6 is the Windows. Okay, and for the inbound of the RDP ports, I set up the virtual IP as well. And the virtual IP will point to the 1.1x6, 1x4. This is the RDP IP address of my Windows. You can see I also can define the port range to redirect the port of the Fortinet to the intranet. So after this setup, I can just copy the Fortinet IP address and then use the remote desktop. You can see I already have a remote desktop here with the Fortinet IP address. So you can imagine when I connect to the Fortinet remote desktop, it will help me to redirect the request to the Windows The Windows actually does not have the public IP address. That's through the Fortinet. I can connect to the Windows machine. Okay, so this is the Windows machine I already connected. You can check the IP address 1.1x4. Okay, and I can go to any website I want here. For example, go to Google, Facebook, and I try to run the test again. Previously I already run, and it's all passed. Let me run again first. So these are my ECS in the Alibaba Cloud, which is protected by the Fortinet. You can see all of the antivirus tests are passed. And I can go to the internet, and let me show you the log in the Fortinet first. So this is the Fortinet console. I go to the Fortinet view. I can check the source. Then you will be able to see which IP address is connecting to the Fortinet and to your backend. You can see all of the IP address. For destination, you can see which application or port that go to the internet through the Fortinet. Right, you can see I go to the Facebook, go to the Google, all very clearly state here. And what I just trying is the scanning. So suppose all the tests are already passed. So what I can see in the Fortinet, I back to the Fortinet in the thread. I already see some of the threads here. That's about the virus file. You can see the thread score here, and you can see it's already being blocked. Already blocked the session number. You can see which source trying to access the file that has problem. Right, the 1.1x4 is the Windows machine. It's just try to access to the virus file, which is critical threat. Right, so it's clearly the antivirus is now working, and we can have full visibility to the traffic that go to the internet or go in the network. Also, I will show you the IPS as well. We have some intrusion prevention capabilities here, which there are many signatures already here, and we can enable the signature if you want. And one of the signature is about the brute force attack of the SSH. That's something like the server guard. If the ECS OS installs the server guard, suppose it can also detect the brute force attack. But if you want to protect by Fortinet, and if you have the Fortinet, you can configure the threshold, you can configure the duration, and most importantly, you can configure how long you are going to block the attacker. Right. So in this case, I selected to detect the SSH brute force, and if the attack is being discovered, I will block the attacker for 1 minute. Right. So this is the IPS feature that I enable. Then how we can relate to this IPS? You can see I have another SSH profile here, and then it will map to the back end of my CentOS OS 1.1x5. You can see my CentOS OS is 1.1x5 here. So go back to the Fortinet. I enable the IPS here. So suppose this policy will use the brute force setting here to protect my SSH. So next I will try to attack the SSH here. I have two command line prompt here, and then I will check the port availability. You can see now I can connect to the Fortinet 22 port and back to the Linux. I can try to log in for you to have a look first. For example, SSH. So you can see I can log into the backend CentOS. Okay, in here I have a tool that doing the brute force attack actually. The tools is called Hydra. Okay, these Hydra tools will help me to try to log into this SSH host using the password list and keep trying. So you can see a brute force attack, it's very easy to do it actually. Just you download the open source tools, then you can try the easy password for the login. Then okay, go. So it's already helping me to test the password in here, doing the brute force attack. So if I wait for the moment, I can try to connect again. This way I copy the command. Okay, you can see my IP address now already blocked. I cannot connect to the SSH port now. So if I go back to the Fortinet, I check the thread. Okay, you can see another thread here. It's called SSH brute force attack, and threat level is also high. Okay, so you can see the IPS is also working right now. So this is another demo is actually easy to show, and not only for the SSH, even the RDP also can detect for the brute force. Okay, so finally I will show you the application control. In the RDP, I try to connect again. Because my IP is being blocked, so the RDP connection is also being blocked. I need to wait for 1 minute. Okay, so any question right now? Have you tested the Metal FortiGate test in your workstation? It's interesting, and you can see how secure your network and the antivirus solution on your desktop. Okay, maybe I just show you here. For example, if in the application control, previously you can see I can access to Facebook in the ECS. It is very easy. If you want to block the access, you just go to application control. In this social media, you can see it's included Facebook, Google, something like that. We just select block here and then apply. Then it's done. Then all of the ECS in the Alibaba Cloud will not able to connect to the social media. When they try to connect, it will just being filtered for the request. Okay.